Think to yourself, what if the telephone wasn't invented? How would you communicate with your loved ones? Telegrams? Carrier pigeons? Good afternoon, Professor Jones and fellow classmates. My name is Mesa Whitley. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Alexander Graham Bell, who was born March 3rd, 1847 and died August 2nd, 1922. I chose Mr. Bell because I know many people might know him just for his invention of the telephone, but Mr. Bell was known for so much more. Mr. Bell was an inventor, engineer, and teacher to the deaf. Alexander Bell was a multi-talented. He proved this by working with many more projects than just the telephone. Alexander Bell was an inventor, engineer, and teacher to the deaf. Mr. Bell always simply described himself as a teacher of the deaf, and his contribution in that field was his first order of business. He taught elocution and also a noted phone physician. Bell opened his school of vocal psychology and mechanics of speech in Boston, Massachusetts, where he taught the deaf to speak. According to the article on biography.com, Bell did not have a university degree when he opened up his school. While living in Brentford, Bell learned Mohawk language and put it into writing for the first time. The Mohawk people made him an honorary chief. Alexander Bell wrote thousands of letters on many different topics and filled countless notebooks with his ideas. Examining Bell's paperwork provided many opportunities to explore his scientific ideas and the personal interest behind them. In 1884, Bell published a paper upon the formation of a deaf variety of the human race, in which he warned of a great calamity facing the nation's deaf. Deaf people were forming clubs and socializing with one another and consequently marrying other deaf people. Despite the hundreds of lawsuits that would challenge his claim to his inventions, none would prove successful. In later years, Bell experienced with the means to detect metal wounds with a vacuum jacket respirator that led to the development of the iron lung. The origin of this effort was the shooting of President James Garfield. According to the book entitled Alexander Graham Bell by Will Murray, Bell discovered an electric method of detecting hidden metal he was trying to set works to create a machine that could find the bullet President Garfield had been shot with, but the bullet in the president's body was too deep to be detected by early detecting equipment. Bell later successfully demonstrated the probe to a group of surgeons, and adopted it. And it was credited with saving lives during the Boer War and World War I. Throughout his life, Bell sought to foster the advance of scientific knowledge. Near the end of 1876, Bell and his inventors offered to sell their patents to the Western Union for $100,000. Western Union ran the telegram wires, and its top people believed that the telephone was just a fad. They thought it wouldn't be profitable. By 1876, Western Union's opinion had altered dramatically. They thought that if they could offer $25 million to get the patent, they would have gotten cheaply. In 1888, Bell was one of the founders of the National Geographic Society. In 1897, he became its second president. Unfortunately for the Western Union, in 1877, the Bell Telephone Company had been launched, and the rest was history. Alexander Bell had a restless mind. Alexander Bell died at the age of 75 on August 2nd, 1922, in Nova Scotia, Canada. He had been ill for months with the complications from diabetes. Alexander Bell was very influential and successful. Every year, on August 2nd, the telephone system shuts down for a minute. Because Alexander Bell worked and invented many things that were successful and helpful, not just to himself, but to others, that is why he's on the list of the top most 100 influential people. Think of the little stretched disc of iron at the end of the wire, repeating in your ear, not only sound, but words. Not only words, but the most delicate, exclusive effects of tone, which separates one human's voice from another. Isn't that a miracle? Thank you.